couple of episodes, we've been talking about change and energy, and we've done some really good stuff on what that means to us and how it affects us. And I just think it leads perfectly into what we want to talk about today, which is resistance. You can't resist
I'm resisting that.
You're resisting that. But here's what's so interesting about resistance. And really let's maybe define what that looks like. I think resistance comes in many different forms. We call it different things. I think procrastination is a form of resistance. I think overwhelm is a form of resistance. I think confusion is a form of resistance. And it's interesting how resistance always shows up whenever it is when we want to go for something, when we want to change something for ourselves, when we want to do something for ourselves, we're met with that feeling of resistance. And frequently, it ends up being self-sabotage behavior as well, because we end up not knowing what to do with that emotion because it's big and it's really uncomfortable. And we're like, ugh, I'm just not going to bother. And we go and do something that makes us feel good in the moment.
That is, resistance and self-sabotage, I think, are really go hand in hand. And I even find that within myself sometimes, as odd as this may sound, is with my training. It's sometimes what I can resist certain parts of my trainings. And when I kick myself in the butt and go do it, and I'll be out there and I'll be like, you were just self-sabotaging. You were just, that resistance was futile. I didn't want to be uncomfortable. I didn't want to, because on just a training note, training can be daunting, overwhelming, and exhausting. And sometimes you just get done with it. And if you ask any endurance runner, they will tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
So there's at times a lot of resistance within myself to complete my daily trainings, as odd as that may sound to people. And it's a form of self-sabotage.
Mm-hmm. And I think self-sabotage is there as a way, it's a protection mechanism for ourselves. Because if you, if you decide that you're going to do something and you self-sabotage, your excuse is, well, I didn't do this and this in order to get to point B. Right? I didn't do the actual workouts that I was supposed to do. That's why I didn't really do well on that ultra.
Mm-hmm.
Right? My time frame to go out and run my 5K was like way too short anyway. So, right. and we create that self-sabotage within ourselves as that form of resistance, not doing what it is that we want to do because it's easier not to.
Well, I think it's easier not to, and it's also sometimes people have the philosophy, including myself from time to time, who cares? Who cares if I, or even the opposite sometimes. There is that piece of, well, they didn't expect me to succeed anyways.
Yeah.
So then what about those ones that can, there is no resistance, that they're doing, say an athlete, like they're putting in 4 hours a day doing their training and then their schoolwork, and then like what is going on in their brain that's pushing them forward, where the majority of us do the self-sabotage?
Well, my first question to you is, how do you know there isn't resistance?
But they're overcoming it. Like they're doing the work. So
right.
However they're doing it, they're doing the work. And so how do I Tracy go, this is what I want, and I'm going to push through the self-sabotage, the resistance, and I'm just going to do it to get it done.
Right.
Huh? What's the
You
answer to
hire a
that?
coach.
You
You hire
hire
a
a coach.
coach.
I'm sure they have multiple coaches, no offense. I'm sure between their
Yeah,
physical
yeah.
and their schooling, but it all comes down to there's part of that is your mindset and how you work your mindset with that. I believe they are met with resistance. I believe that they have the same self-doubt as what I'm going to call an ordinary person. They just understand how to overcome it through their mindset to keep moving forward. I don't think they're any different than the three of us. It's just how they overcome their mindset to continue to move forward.
They certainly aren't wired any differently.
No.
I mean, on past episodes, I've talked about the motivational triad, where we are wired to do as little work as possible, to conserve energy, to try to not have any pain in your life whatsoever, and to seek pleasure. That's what we were wired to do from the time we stood upright. And it was a life and death situation. Those things kept us alive, those three things. We had to avoid pain because it meant death, and we had to conserve as much energy as we possibly could. So we don't want to spend thinking and doing and all of those things. And we want to create pleasure so we can create community and procreate and have our species go on. That was our sole reason for being. And I don't think anybody's wired any differently. But I think it's totally what you said, Michelle. It's the question of when I feel that resistance, when I feel that procrastination, what is it that I want to do with that? It's that self-awareness of understanding that, oh, here's this old familiar feeling. Here's this old familiar procrastination. Hey, how you doing? I know we don't want to do this, but you know what? I do want what's at the end of this. So I'm going to sit down. I'm going to do it anyways. Right? I do really want to get fit. So as much as I just want to sit here and eat potato chips and watch Netflix, I'm going to go out for my walk or my run or whatever it is. I'm going to go to the gym. And I mean, when we say it, it sounds dead easy. It's like, well, just do it then. But it is literally overcoming that emotional thing that's happening in your body that is telling you, big and large, just don't do it. And then we use things like, oh, I'm so confused, or I'm just like, I'm so overwhelmed. I just can't possibly figure this out. If we can take that pause, give ourselves that pause, I think that pause creates the space and the expansion to be able to figure it out. But we got to want it.
Yeah, we got to want it. And it's the pain of not doing it. Like, is that more than the pain of doing it?
The problem is not in the moment. In the moment, it's the pleasure you're looking for.
And we use the word pain, but I think it also another good word to use is regret. And we beat ourselves up over it. The regret of not doing it or going forward with it. Someone's visiting us. Sorry, guys.
She just wants to join the conversation.
That's it. Yeah. She's like, I know all about resistance.
Yeah. But I think this is it's good. I know in past episodes we've talked a lot about change. We've talked a lot about energies and mindsets and all of that. But resistance is just like any of those other questions you need to ask yourself, and that's why are we resistant to it? And there's part of me that thinks if you're resistant to a change that is going through your mind, I think you have to ask yourself, really, why are you resistant to it? And is it really a change you want to make?
It probably is because you're resistant to it.
Well, it's not that. It's, do you really understand why you want to make this change? So let's go back to the health piece aspect of it. A lot of times people will decide to go on a diet. Yes, I did quotes on diet because I hate that word. And to lose 10 pounds. Well, okay. And they're probably losing the same 10 pounds every 18 months
Yeah.
forever, because the reason of making a change is for 10 pounds. When technically, if they just understood and decided to be healthy and work on loving their bodies and loving, they might have a preconceived notion that if I'm 10 pounds lighter, then I'm beautiful. So that's what I mean. There's that resistance to understand why you should be making that change. What is your why to that change? Yes, I'm doing an endurance race, but my why does not end at the end of that race. My why for doing this race is much greater than this race. This race is a stepping stone to my greater why of my health journey. Between my cancer scare, between my mom's done, all of that, all the unhealthiness in my family, my why is to be climbing on a mountain and when I'm 85 with my sons. That's my why. My race is a stepping stone.
Mm.
So that's what I'm talking about when you're going to make a change. Why are you resistant? And you need to understand and dig to that why.
So the power's in the why. So
Yeah.
you have to question.
Yes, that's what I talk about. You're right. You're resistant, Tracy E, because you're making a change.
Mhm.
But it's almost like Tracy G was talking about that profit. When you peel away that onion and really dig down to the why, then that becomes so powerful that even, yes, I resist going out and doing a run, but then I get up and go and do it because I have that bigger picture than just doing my mileage.
But it's keeping that why out in front of you all the time,
Yeah.
because it easily gets sucked back out over here, and you're like, what am I doing this for? Like, nobody
Yeah.
cares. I don't feel like it. It's raining. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter, right?
Because the newness is gone too. That new,
Yeah.
oh, I'm gonna go do this, and this
Yeah.
is exciting. And now,
Mhm.
now you're in 2 weeks, and it's like, oh, this isn't exciting anymore. This is just the norm, and let me do something else that's new instead.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is reminding yourself. And JC, that's exactly right. It's keeping it in front of you, whether it's on a post-it note, whether you write it on a mirror with a visible, the dry eraser marker, whether it's put it on your phone, whether it's, I don't know, somebody calls and asks you, you tell somebody call you every day, why are you going out for your run today? So you have to say it. It's whatever. It's like having the bag of potato chips in front of you. Well, put your why on that bag
Yeah.
of potato chips. I will guarantee you won't eat it.
Yeah. Yeah, put it on the pantry door, the why, but like wherever your thing is of where you procrastinate or get overwhelmed and your detour becomes, that's where you need to have that question of what is the why? Why am I doing this?
So on that note, we would love for you to give us your thoughts. Give us your thought on the episode. If you have any questions, comments, please let us know. We will definitely look at them. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share with a friend, and we'll see you every Wednesday. Until then, have a good day.
Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you as a regular member of our community.